Yeah. Turn it up.
Stir it up. Stir it up.
Yeah. Stir the pot, wrist lock, brick hat. Trap jumping like he heard a big shot. Big body bend, corners, rim chop. Whole hood know my name when the pen drop. Stir, pot, stove flame, can't stop. Talk shit, get zipped, that zip lock. Money tall, y'all small, tilt top. I don't talk, I send words, flip flop. Heavy foot on the gas, black team, 5% can't see who I been. Big chain hang low like sin. Whole lot of weight on the neck and the rim. No side step, your boot stomp. Big drum hanging off the pump. Tryna press, build a pressure look. I don't argue online, I press that button. Pyreek singing fork scrape. Wrist game strong, that water shape. Bow boy posture, shoulder wide. If it ain't about money, move aside. I been here since playground day. Now big boy toys in the driveway. Whole clear E. No crumb. You ain't never seen a boss just come. Skirt up, wrist lock, brick hat. Strap jumping like it hurt a big shot. Big body bend, cone rum chop. Holding on my nine when the 10 drop. Stir the pot, stove flame, can't stop. Costly, hit zip, that zip lock. Mine tall, y'all small, tip top. I don't talk, I send word, flip flop. Big stepper, size 12 when I land. Concrete crack when I stand. Whole lot of green and rubber bands. Old head now like that boy the man. I don't chase, I replace. Whole lot of wind, no trace. Everyone calculate the pace. Pressure build when I enter space. True Wi-Fi, lame bullet. All that capping, don't move. Your internet loud. Ooh, chat, hands on heavy. Too sturdy. Zero D like Bible pages. Flip their way through different stages. From the block to the block to the lock. Not a lot for the foreigns. I call. Stir. Wrist lock, break high. Trap jumping like it hurt a big shot. Big body bending, corners, flame chop. Whole wood on my name in the 10 drop. Stove flame, can't stop. Talk shit, get shit, they still lock. Money tall, y'all small, tip top. I don't talk, I say a word, flip flop. Stand up. Stand up high.
Yo, what's happening there, everybody? Man, DL saying stir the pot for sure, man. Welcome. So I really want to know podcast, man. Shout out to Lost in Translation. Like I said, man, we start the shows with brother Lost in Translation, man, because I like his music. I like what the brother's doing. I'm trying to get as many people as we can to go over there and support that brother, man. He should be like at 600,000 supporters over there, man. So please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff over there. Hope you guys are having a good Wednesday. Right? It's hump day. We're doing what we do. And yeah, man, we're gonna do today's show, man. It's like a follow-up show. We were talking about we had a show a couple weeks ago about a young lady engaged to a guy and then just decided she didn't want to do it anymore and called off the wedding, moved out, got on with her life, did something different. And I saw the story first on the Medium Man. Shout out to the Medium Man on YouTube. And now we have Eight at the Table. I think it's the name of the podcast. We're gonna react to what they were saying. It's the same story. So this is the follow-up. This is what Brother Pitney wanted us to follow up on. So that's what we do, because that's how we get down over here, man. Y'all tell me what y'all want to see, and I do my best to make it happen. So let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all.
Ended my engagement.
Indeed, man. So, yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about this. This is something that guys, it's part of the game, fellas. A lot of dudes are asking me, like, man, what do you do? Like, how do you prevent your woman from just leaving? You got, you're gonna get married, she's gonna leave you at the altar or whatever. You get married and then she just leaves you, and you gotta go through the whole divorce thing sometimes. I mean, there is no definitive way to keep that from happening. That's part of the game. That's part of the risk, but when you vet like you're supposed to vet, you do your due diligence, you do everything on your side, you include your family, your friends, your inner circle, and hopefully you don't have to deal with that. But there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. This is how the game is played. I don't know what to tell you. But we definitely will talk about what this looks like. What am I doing here? Okay. We're definitely going to talk about what this looks like. And it just, it happens. It happens. If you do your due diligence, hopefully it won't happen to you, but it happens. And if it does happen to you, hopefully you've kind of made a plan. You always like, just in case, what am I going to do? So you have a plan, like, okay, you know what the laws are, you know what the rules are. Like, okay, we've only been married a handful of months. Maybe I can get an annulment. Don't have to go through the divorce process. You've already lined up the best divorce lawyer in your town. So you kind of got that going for you. You guys up front signed a prenuptial agreement. So you kind of address this in that documentation. So you're not like, okay, I don't think the court is going to throw this out because there hasn't been enough time. This is what we agreed to. Right? You just kind of like, all right, well, I got a plan in place just in case. Right? Just in case. So we're going to get into this story, guys. And this is from 8 at the Table. I will definitely link this video in the description below. I didn't do it yet, but it will be linked in the description below for everyone out there on Team Replay. And the title of this video, she ended the engagement and everyone cheered, but what about him? Right? And a lot of times, people don't even care. It's like, well, what about dude? They don't care about you. That's just how it is. So here's the video. And we're going to get into this. And, here's the thing, man. Like, I just can't stress it enough, man. There are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. And a lot of guys are like, well, this is why I don't date. This is why I'll never get married. This is why I go, MGTOW, like, men going their own way. This is why I avoid women. Okay. If that's your way of dealing with it, okay. Right. But me, I'm trying to have a family. Me, I'm trying to, I'm trying to continue the line, so to speak. That's what I'm trying to do. Me, I want to experience all those things that life has to offer because we're only here for that long. You feel me? So that's where I am with it. But I understand if there are dudes out there that just don't want to deal with it. A lot of the guys that I have come across that say they just don't want to deal with it are guys who don't even have any options to begin with. It's not, these dudes, women aren't even trying to holler at them. They don't, they haven't put in the work. They haven't gotten to the finish line, so to speak. They're not becoming the best version of themselves. They're just sitting back and complaining and pointing the finger at others and saying, these women are bad or whatever. It's like, bro, you haven't even engaged with women, let alone talk about starting a family or getting married or whatever. So, there's that. And you let them say what they need to say. But I tell those guys, like, well, if you really want to see what it's like, I can show you the way. It's going to take a lot of work. I think it's kind of like what Rich Cooper says. You got to get to the finish line. You get to the finish line, man. That's where all the women are, man. There's a vast majority of women at the finish line. They're ready and willing to smash the winner. So you need to become a winner. Now, if you do all that, you put in the work, you know what it takes. You get into it. and you just had one too many bad experiences and you just want to throw your hands up. It's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna wash my hands of this. I'm not dealing with it. I'm just gonna make my money, have my fun. I am not mad at you. Do you? Makes sense to me. I ain't tripping. Right? It's a lot of guys like, you know what? I just don't want to do it in the West. I don't want to do it in America, or I don't want to do it in Canada or UK or Australia, New Zealand, France, you know what I mean? Whatever. I don't want to do it in the modern world. Fine. I'm going to go to a second or third world country and find me someone. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Just make sure you know the rules over there too. And you might say that, like, well, it appears that these people, uh, are happy to uphold men and they have rules that encourage family formation, and you're not going to get hurt in the end. Like, they're not going to take your child away from you and take, half or maybe 2/3 of your wealth and give it to someone else. So, okay, I ain't mad at you. That's what's up. That's what's up. I've been to many a country, and I can tell you that here in America, when people bring that up and they talk about how tough it is in America with respect to dating and what happens to men in family court, you can't say that they're wrong. It's like, yeah, they know what they are talking about. So let's get into this, man. Let's check this out. Hopefully we'll get through the whole thing. It's about 13 minutes. Women says she had the perfect man and relationship, but still ended her engagement after changing her mind. Okay, here we go. Bam.
Ended my engagement, and today I'm moving out. There wasn't any betrayal. He didn't cheat or anything. Honestly, I just changed my mind. Sometimes clarity comes quietly. Choosing yourself doesn't always need a big explanation. But my village, the women in my life are so amazing. They've shown up for me in more ways than one, helping me pass, sitting with me, praying for me, making a hard transition feel lighter just by being there. I'm so grateful for community, for having people who hold you up when.
See, this is the difference between a man and a woman. As a man, if I have a homeboy who's engaged, him and his woman is living together, and he's getting like cold feet or like second guessing himself, I'm saying, look, bro, it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be scared. You're starting a new life with somebody. Marriage is a big step, and it's okay, but you're not about to leave this woman. You committed to this woman. You told this woman that you want to marry her. You want to spend the rest of your life with her. And I'm going to get on him about making sure he do what he said he was going to do with that woman. As a woman, you want the relationship, then you want the ring, then you want the marriage, then you want the kids and shit. And at any point you can say, I don't want to do this shit. And then people can like, yes, girl, whatever bad decision you make, we champion that. We have your back. Oh, yes, my village came through and they helped me pack and they prayed for me. And we just had a jolly old time that I just wasted 2, 3, 4 years of this man's life, got engaged to this man. He thinking I'm about to be his wife. And I just woke up one day and I said, fuck it. And every bitch that I know agreed with me and said, yeah, I'm making the right decision. And that's a woman. No matter what bad decisions they make, they're going to have other people, mainly other women, saying, it's okay, you're making the right decision. Even if it's bad, even if it's horrible. Amanda?
I said all that with my mic muted. It was, hey guys, I apologize for that, man. The trouble was not in your set. That was operator error. I said all that with my mic muted. I just looked down like, oh man. So what I was saying was, like, I agree with what old boy was saying. A lot of women will encourage their friends to make a bad decision, even though they may believe that what they're doing is wrong and what they're doing is going to hurt them down the road. They'll still encourage that decision and say, "Hey, you go, girl, you right," and all this. Um, but the dudes, like the guys that are close to me, guys will tell you the truth, like, bro, this is a bonehead play. Like, what are you doing? This is stupid. This is stupid, son. What are you doing? Yeah, I'll come through like in a situation where there's no marriage, no children, nothing like that. You guys were just dating, engaged, and just, now you want to end it before the marriage. All right, yeah, I'll come through, help you move your stuff or whatever, man. But you dumb to leave this woman. Me and Jay Swans were just talking about that the other day. When he met his wife now, when he met her, when they were just dating, I was there like within the month that they had met. Like I was there. And things, life was life, and bro, life was coming at us hard. It was what it was. And I was telling him, like, bro, you would be a fool to let this woman get away. And it wasn't just me. It was everyone who was in his circle, everyone he trusted was saying the same thing. Like, bro, do not let this woman get away. What are you thinking? And mind you, me and Jay Swans, we've been a part of each other's lives since we were kids, really. He was 17, I was 19. We were in the Army. And it's like, bro, I was telling him, like, yo, man, don't let this woman get away. Whereas women will say, yeah, girl, you it's all about you, girl. Forget him. Just go ahead and move. And these women know, like, that's not, it would be better for this woman to stay with this man. Like, she's never going to find another dude nearly as good as this guy. This is the one. This is the guy. He's done everything. He bought the ring. He's working harder. He's providing for you already. When we get into the story, you guys are going to see, because we covered this before, but I wanted to cover with women sitting at the sofa chiming in. I really want to hear what these ladies have to say, because I just don't understand how some women will do that. They will tell their friends that they're doing something it's wrong. It's the wrong thing to do, but they will tell them to do it and encouraging them to do it. I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. And I'm hoping maybe these ladies can provide some clarity. And it's not like a racial thing. It's not like a black thing, a Latin thing, a white thing, or Asian thing. It's not like a female thing. But there are women out there who will like tell you, you're wrong, girl. Don't do this, girl. There are some women out there who will do that. But those women have a stigma. Other women are like, oh, she's this, she's a B and this and that. Why? Because she's telling you the truth. Like, you don't want to hear the truth. Well, now is not the time. I remember there was a dude in Hollywood that I was trying to help out. He was a comic. He had moved to Hollywood from New York. It was like a stand-up guy. He was a writer first. He was a writer who was doing comedy to help him get where he needed to get as a writer. And he did a show. I helped him do a show. I actually executive produced the show, to be honest with you. And I brought some people to watch the show, and the show was over. He had brought in a guy that he thought was going to be like a major investor for him from the East Coast. And I was telling him, as soon as the show was over, it was kind of, just like the reception or whatever. And I was like, hey, man, brought my buddy here. This is a guy who's in the business, a Hollywood cool kid. Just want to give you some constructive criticism about what we saw. I'm trying to tell him. And he was like, nah, man, don't tell me. I want to hear this now. This is not the time to tell me. This is, enjoy this. And I never understood that. I never met a guy like that before. I mean, what you mean? What's the difference between me telling you now or telling you next week? Like, I'm not going to see you for a minute. When I leave here tonight, I got things to do. I'm not going to see you for a while. So that guy, he got really bent out of shape. And he didn't really get that far from what I could tell. Like, he had some people who went far, some guys that was working with him, actors that were working with him that went the distance. But I mean, unless he's like behind the scenes, I don't think he got that far. And it was a shame too. I was like, and dude felt bad. Then he didn't want to come apologize. I'm like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, that's very feminine. Like, for me, especially as a comic, or as an artist, when I stop performing, I'm ready to hear the negative feedback. In fact, I'd rather hear negative feedback than positive feedback, to be honest with you, because that's going to help me get better. But when I saw dude, I'm like, man, because most guys aren't like that. And I'm like, man, that's like feminine. That's That's the way women get down. And just wanted to throw that out there. Like, but it's just rare that you see men moving the way women do in this situation. But let's check out. Let's hear what the ladies have to say about this.
This man who was fiending to say something, he didn't even let me watch the girl's full video, would have given his friend terrible advice, because I don't think that they understand how big of a commitment marriage is. And honestly, he wrote this off as cold feet. And that's not what I got from her whole village helping her pack up her stuff. She stopped herself from making a very big commitment to
a hard decision.
And a hard decision. To tell a man, nah, bro, you said you was gonna marry her, you got to do that shit. That is horrible advice.
I don't think that's what he was saying, though. I think
100%
I think what he spoke to was having accountability for the responsibility of the investment you made. Right. I think two things can exist at the exact same time. And I think that no, her friend's championing her. I don't think that was all the way right. I think someone should say, girl, that's kind of messed up what you did to him.
But I'm
Like,
sure
like,
not the whole story.
Wait, let me.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm speaking about it the way that she presented it. Right. Oh, my village is amazing because what they did was support me. Right. No, I'm sorry. If you love this person, there is a responsibility as a friend to go, but girl.
Can we tell you what support as a woman?
Wait a minute. There is accountability that girl, what you did is kind of messed up. Like, you have the right to walk away, but it's still kind of messed up that you were there with this guy for 4 years, but in the same breath, once again, I will say no one owns anyone, right? And I'll go even further to say everything in life is a risk. And we have to understand that when we enter relationships, we can invest 10 years. It doesn't mean that there's a guarantee, right? It's a risk that we are taking, and we have to make the decision. Is the reward at the end, the possible goal, worth the risk, right? And no, it's not a guarantee we're going to win. There's a chance we may lose. And if we lose, I'm sorry, we have to suck it up and take it because we don't own anyone.
I think I know where the women are going to go here. It's like, well, she almost made a huge mistake. Imagine if she had gotten married, got into the whole situation, had kids and everything, and then realized this isn't what I want and want to leave. And I would say, yeah, good point. Best to do it now. And I said it in the first video. I was like, hey, it's best if she walks away now, then go through with the wedding and all that. And there's going to be a real mess on the other side of that. I hear that argument. I do. I hear that argument. But on Dear Future Wifey, which is, they had this woman who broke off this engagement, they were asking her, like, what did he do wrong? Like, it was a lot of, well, why did you do it this way? Why didn't you do it that way? Like, who pursued whom? And when you get into it, you find out that she pursued this dude. Like, she went after this guy. Like, she got him. And then the reasons why she got upset and wanted to leave is because she stopped working, which she wanted to do. Came to him like, I don't think I should work. I should have to stay home. I want to stay home. So he's like, okay, cool, stay home. So he has to work harder so he can take on this extra responsibility, this extra financial burden. And now she's mad because he's working too much. Right. And again, a lot of this is on the guy. A lot of this is on the guy. Gentlemen, this is why I always tell you, like, man, keep your emotions out of this until you know this is the one. If he wasn't emotionally invested in this woman, he would have seen this coming. And when she comes and says, well, I don't want to work anymore. So you pick me, you approach me, you slide into my DMs, right? I date you, we get together, we're trying to, we decide we're gonna have a relationship, and then you suggest that you move in. You forgot to throw that part in there. You wanted to move in. So you move in, and then later you suggested you don't have to work anymore. So now you're moved in, you don't have to work. And the guy's taking all this on. If he wasn't emotionally invested in her, he probably would have seen it's like, nah, this ain't cool. She's about to run a play. Let's see what she does next. As you see this unfolding as a guy, that's when you gotta, start saying no. Like, nah, let's not do that just yet. Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way, right? And then his family, his parents who raised him religiously didn't like the fact that they were, quote unquote, living in sin, right? They're living together. Her parents, non-traditional, were just like, yeah, go ahead. Just do you. It is what it is. So there was, there were issues on both sides. So it's not like I'm trying to make it out that this dude is some sort of victim here. He's not. You know what I mean? He got himself in this situation. He's a big boy. But this is what happens when you let your emotions out too soon. And again, it was like good for him that she cut it when she did, as opposed to waiting until after, now, you're dealing with the whole marriage and paying for all that. And you're also dealing with a contract that's going to reward her for walking away, possibly, if you're not prepared for that. It's just more of a headache.
But you don't think that girl know that was fucked up? That after 4 years, 10 years, that her making this decision to leave was fucked up? You think she needed her friends
by the
to tell
video
her
she
that?
made and what she said?
not,
I didn't hear at no point that she said that she thought it was messed up.
We didn't even watch the video.
What she said was,
we didn't hear the video.
Wait.
Now
What she said was, I have to choose me. Or everything she said was an I statement and me. Everything was centered towards her. There was no empathy for that man. I'm sorry. There wasn't.
I have to actually disagree.
I think that the point of the video was her making a decision for herself and showing her village being there for the decision that she made. And that's just the perspective of the video. But you don't think that
what you're making is an assumption because there's no proof of it.
No. When it comes to support from like your community, right? Your friends, she had about 6, 7 girls over there. You can't tell me that there was not one person that was like,
but what you're making is once again, what you're making is an assumption. There is no proof of that.
I'm thinking is that listen, y'all men know how y'all commune together, right? But we as women know how we commune.
That's still an assumption. There is no proof. If we took that video to court and we said, was there anyone? What proof is there that anyone told her the latter, that what she did to this man wasn't right, or who held her accountable? You know what they say? They would say there's no evidence of that in this video.
Just based off of that video. And
exactly. And I'm not saying that you're not right.
So you had the audacity to film it.
That's the no. That is the weird part. Like, I don't understand that.
I want to make this clear. So you said all these.
That's not weird. It just shows that person is self-centered. I mean, something like that. I'm going to film this whole thing. But you talk about a gut punch to the dude, really a nut punch. Right. And she's moving out of his home. And I don't think these people know this. The people sitting on the sofa here on this particular platform, I don't think they watched the Dear Wifey podcast when she was sitting there saying, like, yeah, I lived with the guy. He took care of all my bills. Right. And then she explained how it was her idea to move in together. It was her idea for her to stop working. To me, it just kind of goes to the point that it's like, bro, y'all got to know what y'all getting yourselves into. And the guy was all in 100%. And then she wants to break it up and film all this stuff. And, she's like a YouTuber. She's a social media person. So everything is going to be online. And again, that's something that dudes should have considered. If I'm out here, I meet some woman, let's say I'm out looking for somebody, which I'm not, but let's say I am. And I come across a woman and she's in the social media world and she's already filming everything. I got to take that into consideration because that's not going to stop. I mean, you have an argument with her and, you look up and see the cameras on. Like, yo, did she stage this? Like, you never know. Like, she's trying to get content. You just don't know what's going on. You're going to want to support and want to help out. Like, hey, why don't you make a video for this? Why don't you make a video for that? And like, you find yourself being sucked into that world that you may not necessarily want to be in. Right. And that's what's going on here. Like, to be filming this, my goodness, man, such a gut punch.
These women got together as a community.
You're celebrating what he's mourning,
right?
No, you're not celebrating that he's mourning.
That's a celebration.
One of them was like, oh, girl, don't videotape this. Nobody had the common sense to say that, but they were supporting her.
And you're celebrating what he's mourning. No, because that video is a celebration. I chose me, everyone. Look, my friends are here to support me.
Okay, can I say something?
That's a celebration of the death that he's mourning. That is very insensitive.
She's not mourning.
My thought.
She doesn't sound like she's mourning.
But okay, and that's an assumption.
No, it's not. I'm speaking to what
not gonna let Shorty talk.
There.
I also want to say we did not see the full video. That man ambushed the video. I saw 5 seconds.
Another assumption. I'm speaking to what we saw.
We didn't see that girl's full video.
No, but you're saying he's mourning. You're literally making an assumption, but telling us to not make assumptions.
Can I say something? I also think that she's probably protecting him by not saying what really occurred.
What?
Because I agree.
She said he was a good man.
I'm
and there's
telling
nothing
you.
wrong.
I'm telling you.
That
I've
is
been in
another
this
assumption. Oh my
situation.
God. She said he's a good man. Now you're saying she protected him because he was hell on wheels.
Oh
My
what I'm
It's the
saying
real
is,
reason that his dick was
can I
small,
just
and
say
she
my
didn't want to
perspective
marry
now?
that.
Because we all respect each other's
She's not gonna say
perspective.
that.
So coming from a woman who has been in a position where I loved my man, and I was in a difficult situation where he also made me feel like I was in a mentally abusive situation, I wouldn't tell everybody all of the
Mentally
different
abused.
difficult things that I was going through. I would always big him up and make him seem like, all right, you know, like everything's great. He's a great man. Everyone in my family thought that I was in a perfect relationship because I protected him. So maybe what she's doing here is not putting all of their business out. Yeah, she recorded her family helping them pack and stuff like that. And maybe she did say, yeah, you know what? I had to choose my own self. Maybe my mental health was suffering,
Stop
something like
smiling,
that.
Mom.
But
What you're doing is a perfect example of projecting.
I'm just
Because
saying
it has
my
nothing that it has.
perspective.
I understand, but you're basing what she went through your experience. That's the perfect
Okay, maybe I'm
example of
projecting, but what I'm doing is also taking detail from the video that we did not fully see, and the fact that she's not saying
That
what
part.
fully happened. She said there was a great relationship, but obviously, if you're putting yourself first, why are you?
I don't understand how you can pull that he did something wrong from her saying.
That. I'm saying she said that.
If she said it was-
herself.
Yes.
So I'm saying take the video for what was said and what was presented.
So
right?
let's rewind
So
it.
zero-
Choosing
zero
herself
assumptions. Sure.
means that there was
An issue.
there was
Not
something
necessarily.
about the relationship that she
Right.
could not see herself.
Yeah, I really wish they watched the Dear Future Wifey broadcast because she was on that. She was on Dear Future Wifey. And then like, women, it seems to me that, well, people do this. You know, you're going to want to try to, you know, win your side of the argument, so to speak. And, you know, the women are going to circle the wagons, I think, a lot faster than men. Right. So they're saying a lot of things like, oh, girls, like, well, I was protecting my guy. I was with a guy and I'm protecting my guy. And my family thought it was perfect, but it didn't work out. And then she starts talking about mental abuse or whatever that is. And then it's like, well, what happened to protecting your guy? Like you would a moment ago, you were protecting him, but now I know he's a mental abuser. You know what I mean? Like now you're starting to paint the picture that he's the bad guy. Was he the bad guy, or were you just on one? Right? Like what's really going on here? And maybe it's hard for a lot of people to. Me, I'll look at something, and eventually, if I look at it long enough, it's like, oh man, this is wrong. This is wrong. I can't. You know what I mean? Like I can't. This is wrong. Eventually, you just kind of come to that conclusion, like, this is wrong. Yeah, like for her moving out like that, it's like, man, you filming this? Like, at least dude wasn't there, but it's like, man, you filming this? I mean, that's kind of wrong because this is going to go online, and he has to deal with it, and it is what it is. Dude's like, I have to deal with it. That guy's out there, and like, yeah, man, sorry it didn't work out for you. But on the flip side of that, like this dude was a hard worker, like producer and promoter, and was like able to make a lot of money. So a ton of women that wanted to holler at him. So he doesn't really have to worry about finding someone. But the next woman, she's going to have to deal with a lot more. Like that guy's going to accept a whole lot less from her, right? Because what he just went through. And they saying it took 4 years. That's a long time. 4 years. Like, so you've had plenty of time to vet this woman, and you just missed or ignored a lot of the warning signs. This is, again, how do you miss that? How can you be with someone for 4 years, be planning to get married and spend the rest of your life together, and then something like this happen? Well, how does that happen? You let your emotions out too soon, son, and you just ignored a lot of stuff. Like it was there. It was all right there. You just ignored it. You just kind of erased it. Someone wrote it. She was writing it in the sand, and you walk up, don't like what you see, and you just kind of rub your foot over it. Just, this is how that happens.
Continuing with, she did not want to commit
Maybe
to
he
this.
bit his nails.
And
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
even if
That's
it was
it.
Yes.
that is something.
That is something. See, and this is what I mean.
That's different from
We
cold
have to
feet.
be able to decipher.
No,
the
it's
difference
not.
Because
between
you have to commit. There's going to be things that you
No.
like about your
how you
partner.
Listen,
feel
no.
is not real. Your feelings are a reaction to what is real.
But listen, he brought up having cold feet, right? If my brother came to me and was like, I'm having cold feet, I'm gonna be like, look, this is your decision, and right now you're committing to a lifetime of it. So whatever it is, you need to be sure about it. I'm not going to talk about, oh, well, you made a commitment to her. You got kids with her.
What I'm going to do is ask, what's the problem? And if he says she bites her nails, and I'm going to say, bro, are you serious?
I'm not even asking the problem, because the thing is that problem.
Then how?
No. Listen, that problem has been ruminating.
But how can see? This is the difference between men. This is the difference between men. You see how you said that problems? It is nature.
It's nature.
You're absolutely, and I've learned to accept it. But you see how you said that problem's been ruminating, because something as little as biting his nails. Once you
no. I'm talking about this. I'm not talking about nail biting. I'm talking about this. I'm saying,
but even if the problem's been ruminating, if it's a small problem, it doesn't matter how much it echoes in your mind. It doesn't make it any bigger.
It doesn't matter. It's still it's still your choice. So if this is something that I can do this, I can deal with it, and then you realize, yo.
So that's not cold feet. Stop there. That's not cold feet.
I'm saying that it is.
I don't think she communicated.
No. It's doubt.
So I have a question.
Wait, hold on. And the doubt has been ruminating. The thing is that perhaps she said it before the marriage and he's saying it the day of. You see what I'm saying? And they both got the opportunity to walk away. It's just that I don't think that you're going to have a friend group where everyone has different personalities. So somebody's going to be real with you. Somebody's going to also say, well, I support you, whatever you do. And of course, your mama, your grandma, and well, baby, y'all done paid for the wedding and y'all live together. Trust me, the elders are gonna try to suck you back in. You can't tell me that she didn't have
that conversation,
multiple perspectives as a consequence of the decision that she was gonna make.
So that also has nothing to do with them helping her pack up her house.
Who was going to, was he going to help her?
They're definitely, all of the friends could have been like, girl, for real? Like,
they
you really going to
she said my community supported my decision 100%.
Why wouldn't you support the decision?
But why do you think
that? Because listen, I've been in,
why do you support
wait. I've been in situations that I've said to male friends of mine, bro, I don't agree with what you're doing, but if you need my help, I'm gonna help you.
Exactly.
No. You was gonna say, fuck you, I'm not helping you pack up shit.
But what happened?
I gotta stop.
This is my question though. Whatever happened to the realization that relationships require compromise? And if something small,
we don't know if it was small or big.
Assumption.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Well, no, it's not an assumption, because what she said was he was a good man and it was a great relationship. So I would assume.
No.
And we're gonna have to find that Dear Future Wifey episode if I can find that, because I'm listening to them and they're only going off that TikTok clip. It's like it's a lot of information they didn't get to see. Now, would that change the lady's perspective of everything that's going on? I don't think so. I think all women will defend the ability for them to walk away without accountability, without question. Say, hey, it was bad. You don't know how bad it was. Just trust me, it was bad. I'm moving on. And then the other women be like, okay. Whereas dudes would be like, all right, you say it's bad. How bad was it? Like, what exactly happened? You catch it with another dude? Like, nah. She can't cook? Nah, she cooks great. She's getting fat? Nope. She's losing weight. Her body's amazing. She doesn't want to have sex with you? Nah, bro. She gives me dome every day. Why are you leaving this woman, man? She works hard. She takes care of business. She's got your back. What are you doing? I don't know. I just feel like I need, this isn't my season, or come up with whatever word salad, you know what I mean, fits. And you just say it. And guys are like, nah, man, you wrong. But again, like old boy said, if you need some help moving or whatever, I help you, because they haven't been married before. But they like, there's some times when the guy's like, man, I can't be a part of this. Can't help you, man. I can't help you destroy your family. Let's make the assumption that they've been married, they have kids and all that stuff. Now it's like, man, I can't help you destroy your family. But I can't co-sign on that. But like something like this where, they were just engaged and, like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? I'll come through and help you out. But the whole time I'll be calling him stupid. Ain't believe you, like, man, she's stupid. You stupid, bro. You stupid. And some of the guys you might have around, you be like, I'm trying to get at her. Got to be careful about that.
It's not an assumption.
If I say I have a great marriage, that does not discount the 25% of the bullshit. Because I'm comparing the 75, 25 and the 80, 20.
But you do realize if you have a great marriage, but there's 25% of bullshit, it's because he doesn't do 25% of what you want or what you like.
That part.
Now, this is what we have to be able to decipher the difference between a great man and a man that will do everything that you want. A great man is not going to do everything that you want because he has to teach you and he has to lead you. So we live in a time where women think if the man challenges her, that it's an issue. No, this is my job. This is why I'm here.
Do you think that?
Me? I did kind of agree with that part.
This is why I'm here.
Do you think that?
I think that
the man,
I don't think
if you listen,
I don't think
I will tell you this: the man that does not challenge you does not love you. That is the reality.
And vice versa. And I also think that if there's people are expecting perfect out of relationships these days,
right?
It's not going to be perfect. It's constant work.
And I will say this: we all have this idea in our head of this perfect person that does not exist. Absolutely. No one has ever met them.
Never.
Everyone has this idea of this perfect person that no one has ever met. And what I've come to learn is, look, man, you have your core principles, pinpoint what's important to you. And if that person has 2 or 3 of those important things, you work with them.
Yes.
They're not going to be perfect. But if they have but what's important is that they have the desire to grow. If they have that desire, then anything's possible. But if they're rigid and it's just, well, this is just the way that I am, then leave them alone.
Dude ain't lying. Dude is not lying. You know, it's he is not lying. And there's so many people out here who, I mean, they want the perfect scenario. They want the Disney fairy tale. I mean, there's so many people out there that are locked in on that. They want the Disney fairy tale. And the Disney fairy tale, man, that's a script. That's not real. That's created by somebody. The reality to relationships, man, it takes a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. It's a lot of sacrifice. And both people got to be willing to do that. And if they're not willing to do that, it's not going to work. And this is why it's so important to vet. And this is why it's so important to talk and have these conversations, because you need to find out where this other person is. Right? You know, and in today's modern world, especially when you start talking about leadership and all that kind of stuff, like the man should lead and teach the woman and this and that, man, modern women don't want to hear that, bro. And I'm not mad at them. They're just people, you know, a lot of women aren't raised to follow. A lot of women are raised to lead. You know, it's called blame it on feminism, or, you know, just blame it on modern realities, whatever you want to blame it on. That's what it is. Right? A lot of women don't want to follow until the situation hits and it gets bad, and they know they're in over their head, and they don't have any problem following you at all. Like my buddy, I had a buddy of mine lives in Cali. I think I told this before. I think I told this story before. He likes to hike. He'll go out and hike in California. And, you know, California, man, got some dangerous places. You can go out there and hike and get lost, and, you know, people might not find you until it's too late. Like it's a thing out there, right? So he was on a hike, and it started raining or something. Like something was going on, and he was by himself, but then he sees a group of women, like 3 young girls in their 20s, like college girls, and they're ahead of him. And they come across like a danger crossing or something like that. It was something going on. Maybe, I don't, it was something that they couldn't figure out how to maneuver. And he comes walking up, and he's older, and he's got like his little walking sticks to kind of help him get along there. But I mean, he trucks along. Yeah, he can get there. He can hike. And these young girls were like well ahead of him, and they were doing their thing. But then they got to a situation where someone needed to take command, because they were stuck. These girls were stuck. They didn't know what to do. Got to a point, it was like, someone needs to take command. And he just came up. Hey, ladies, how you guys doing? And they were kind of like, hi. And he saw why they were stopped, and he just kept trucking along. He knew how to get around whatever obstacle was there. He didn't say anything to him. He didn't say, I'm the man, I'm going to take over right now. He didn't say none of that. He just kept going. And he noticed that they all got in line behind him, just kind of fell into formation. And he's just moving, and they're following him. No one said a word. They're just moving. And however long it was, quarter mile or mile, whatever it was, he kind of maneuvers around the problem, whatever the obstacle was, he moves around that, gets back to the trail, the main trail. And once the young girls realized that they were good, they were safe, they were on the main trail, they just kind of took off and went on their own way. And they kind of went back to talking to each other, and they're back in command again. Like, we're girls, we're girl power, go. He thought it was funny. He was just kind of like, I got a funny story for you, man. I thought it was kind of cute. But when it got bad, what did they do? They fell in right behind the first man that came along. And you know what I mean? It wasn't like they're going to wait for the bear. They fell in behind my buddy. And he was able to lead them out of the danger zone. You know what I mean? We got Brother Pitney in the building. What's happening? What's happening, bro? Good to see you, man. This is the follow-up video. I know you were talking about we need to follow this up, so we on it. This is the follow-up video. And now I'm trying to find the Dear Future Wifey episode. There it is, Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm trying to find a Dear Future Wifey. So this is the follow-up to old girl that just left, just walked away, just left. And Aid at the table was talking about it. Let me see if I can find this. So the video was only 13 minutes. I'm just kind of getting the perspective of the ladies who were on the pod that we just watched. And of course, the ladies were saying when it comes to, women wanting to just leave and make these decisions, they were like, yeah, and their friends should support them. And, there was no real talk of accountability. There was a lot of, some assumptions there. They're like, well, I'm pretty sure that the girls, that their friends, that their family said something to them, told like this is a mistake or whatever. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think so. But, you kind of look at it. Oh, here it is right here. Hour and 44 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Got it. We just kind of jumped ahead there. So we're about to watch Dear Future Wifey, guys, and we're going to get this is actually the young one who was to get married, to be married. She's going to be here talking about what happened. And she's going to do a lot of crying. So let's check this out. She's already crying. Dang, they ain't just starting. She already crying. So what we're going to watch here, guys, this is what the other podcast should have been watching. And maybe there's videos out there. Maybe they did find this eventually. We're actually going to hear from the young lady who called off her engagement. She's sitting right here. And I look at this too, man. And I look at it, fellas. This is why I tell guys, I'm like, man, get the finest woman in the room, bro. Because you're going to go through some craziness, man. If I'm going to go through something like this, at least, like, man, she's fine. She's like Janet Jackson or Tyra Banks in their prime. All right, cool. Most guys are like, yeah, I'll try it too. I'll go through it too. But to go through something like this with a woman that's, like a 4 or 5 or 6 out of, on a 0 to 10 scale, she's a 4 or 5 or 6, it's average. Why am I going through this with an average person? That's the thing. Like, I don't want to do that. To me, that's an L. But here's the woman right here. This is Dear Future Wifey. Let's check this out.
Nervous about?
Not y'all making me cry already.
Listen, I understand we're in a sensitive space. Smile in the video and make it seem like you're some savage woman, but I really truly believe that you're a woman of God, and that when you made this decision, consulting with the Holy Spirit. Is that an assumption I'm making?
No, not at all.
Okay. And so
yeah, that's
a lot of women desire marriage. A lot of women wait for the day that someone gets on their.
I mean, when I hear all the God talk, man, I'm for it, but it's not all about God, man. It's just like every time they do something wrong, it's like God wills it.
God wills it! God wills it! God wills it!
I mean, when you hear that, well, I talked to God and God told me to ruin this man. But it would have been far worse had she gotten married. So I guess he got off easy. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Knee and propose to them. You had that moment. Was that the first time that's ever happened to you?
Ending an engagement?
No, having an engagement.
Yes, it was. Yes.
First time somebody ever proposed to you and you made the decision to end it. Why is this making you emotional?
Because she knows she hurt that man for no reason.
We were together for 4 years.
4 years.
And I think when you enter relationships, you never enter it thinking that it's going to end. And
it wouldn't have
what
ended
makes
if
it
she
a lot
hadn't ended
harder,
it.
I think, is being online and sharing so much. You know, I share everything, my whole entire life. I shared when I tore my Achilles. I share everything. And so for me, my platform has always been about being authentic. And that meant also sharing, ending my engagement. And that in and of itself was really, really hard. And I also, you know, just having to share it publicly too. But that was a choice that I made. Being in social media is a choice that I made. That's a career that I chose to be in. And so when you're dealing with something so personal, but also it's public, it just makes it 10 times harder.
Well, I'm gonna let Ashley lead in this. What would you like to ask about that?
I love that you're transparent. I think that's going to help a lot of people. Would love to just hear a little bit about, you know, what happened. Everyone may not have seen the post. So we're starting from scratch and just bring us up to speed if we're not aware what happened.
It was never like one specific thing. I think when he and I met, I was so young. We were long distance. I was a news anchor in Waco, and he was living in Dallas. And
Give us age. You say so young. What is that? How old are you?
I was, I think, 26 or 27.
Okay.
And so, well, I'm 31 now. So what's 31 minus 4?
Yeah.
So I was in Waco and we were long distance. And I think the things that I wanted in a relationship from a man at that time were very different than what it is today and what it's been the last year. You know, we were so young and we were honestly, like, the thing that I was so attracted to about him was that he was just so fun and we connected on so many different things. We used to go to the gym together. Honestly, we were going out a lot, you know, just going out to the club and just living a fast life. And as I grew older, those things became less important to me. And I think the things that he and I connected on were no longer there. So we weren't going out. We weren't working out together. We were barely hanging out together and doing things that, you know, build emotional intimacy. So I think that was the biggest change, was he was no longer my best friend.
Hey, man, this happens, bro. 4 years. Like, they were together for 4 years. And like I say, man, you need at least 2 years to vet somebody. They were together for 4 years. I mean, that's really on dude. I can't hammer this enough to you guys, man. This is why you have to keep your emotions in check. Like, everything she just said right there, you would think like the dude must be doing something. He must still be out in the club. Like, he don't want to work out with you because he got some other girls in the gym. I mean, it's a veiled way to kind of shift the responsibility towards him. He wasn't doing enough. But they get to ask him questions, bro. And you find out that the guy did everything right. He did everything right.
He became my roommate.
And so y'all were actually, when you say roommate, y'all were actually living together at this time.
Yeah.
How long were y'all dating before y'all decided to move in with each other?
I believe 2 years. Yeah.
And that was here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Yes.
So when did you relocate from Waco to Dallas?
In 2022.
In 2022. And so at what stage, y'all were engaged for 8 months before you called it off. Were there any, let's go back to the moment that, we're going to go ahead and put this in reverse. How did y'all meet?
Social media.
So I met on social media. Did you slide in his DM? Did he slide in yours? What was
I followed him on Instagram, and then I was kind of like waiting on him to slide in my DMs, and then he wouldn't. So I was like, I followed him for like 2 weeks, waiting for him to say something. And just when I was about to unfollow him, he messaged me, and he responded to a story of my Apple Watch, and it was me ending a workout. And I thought I was so slick. I was like, oh, something about let's do like a workout competition or something, but I need your number to.
So she got at him, right? She got at him. Guys, again, this is why you want to get to the finish line, man. You get to the finish line, women are waiting for the dudes at the finish line. She social media thing, she saw him, she liked what she saw. So she likes or whatever, gets on his social media platform. And in her mind, it's like, that's enough. I'm just going to be here. And of course, he's going to slide into my DMs. And he didn't. He didn't. Why? He got options. Dude doing whatever he doing. He got options. But he was running a rotation, and he knew, because, Instagram is a funnel. He probably noticed like she's there. I want to say that she probably was liking a bunch of his stuff. Like, she got there and they made it known to him that she's there. Then she waited, and then dude finally said something to her, about Apple Watch or whatever. And then she comes out right away like, yo, let me get your number so we can do whatever. This is her running her game, trying to get dude. She wants this guy. It's not like she was waiting for dude, or like she was out somewhere and dude saw her and ran up on her and started hollering at her. Like, nah, she wanted him. He was just doing his thing. Right? So, I mean, it just amazes me that it went as long as it did. Like over 3 years, and he didn't notice that things were wrong. Like, man, so she went after him. Okay.
And so he gave me his number. And then I remember his area code was 816. So he was from Kansas City. And then that was kind of our connection there. And then honestly, it kind of just happened so fast. Yeah, I mean, he was exactly what I needed at that time.
And then when did y'all take it from just a DM exchange to now we go together?
Yeah.
Real bad.
I had driven to Dallas a couple times. I went with my roommate at the time, Madison. We drove to Dallas. We went out. He used to have a hookah business. So he was doing something at like a rooftop. And so we met him there. And that was our very first meeting. And I really liked him. He was really kind. He was sweet, very attractive. So, and we just stayed in touch. And he was driving back and forth from Dallas to Waco to see me. And I was, doing the same on the weekends.
Did y'all know each other's families? Did you get to, at what point did you meet his family? And
I want to say I know it was in November because I had gone home with him for Thanksgiving and we went on a big family cruise. And that was the first time I'd really met like everyone. I met his dad first on accident. And then
on accident.
Yeah, on accident. He surprised him. He flew to Dallas and, yeah, he just so happened to just kind of surprise him. And he was like, I'm here. And he was like,
yo, so, all right. She follows him on social media. She does her social media play, gets his number. She gets her friend. They drive to Dallas to meet dude in person. He's doing an event on a rooftop, doing his hookah business, whatever. They meet. She likes what she saw, right? You heard what she said, like, oh, he's very attractive. Okay, cool. And then from that, it went to he would come to Waco to see me, and then I would drive to see him on Dallas. And now in Dallas, and now she's talking about how she met dad on accident. Pop just flew in, check in with his son, and it's like, well, how did she meet him? Because she was at dude's house. She probably was posted up at dude's house. By this time, she's like probably there every weekend, every other weekend, something like that. She's with dude. So Pops comes to the crib and is like, I ain't supposed to be here, but I'm here. And she stayed. It's not like, oh, my Pops is here. Once you drive back to Waco or whatever. She stayed. He was like, oh, I guess you might as well meet my father. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like he was really trying to get at her. In fact, she might have just been in a rotation at first. He's probably like, all right, I got one in Waco. Let me go on in Waco real quick and slide over here. Dude has a business. He's doing his thing in Dallas. I'm sure he has rotation of women in Dallas. She probably managed to get into the rotation, work their way up to the top. Dude found like, okay, I guess I got to get rid of all these other girls. She done met dad on accident. Like she just, like this is a play, guys. When you hear me talk about women running their play, women doing, like female game, this is the stuff I'm talking about. She's very intentional with what she's doing. She knows exactly how she's moving. This is supposed to happen this way. She has embedded herself with this guy. And like she said, she's in Waco. She's doing the news. So this is like a news anchor. So there's celebrity there. So dude, he's bragging or whatever. Like, yo, this is my girl over here, man. She's doing the Waco thing. She's the anchor for the Waco news on this channel. What? That's her? Yeah. So she knew what she was doing. This is female game. She's running her game well.
Like, oh shoot, so I guess we're doing this. And yeah.
And so I like to, so in the book Student of Love, I teach people how to define your core values and then date according to your core values. What you said at the very beginning is something that's making my ears perk up, because you said what I liked or desired back then changed just 4 years later. So my question to you is, what were you looking for back then? Because you might, if I ask you something like, what was your core values then? It may go over your head. You're like, I'm 27 years old. I'm not even thinking about a core value. He looked good. Yeah. So you may just, and we like to go hang out. He was fine.
Yeah.
It's that, which has nothing to do with core values, which is even interesting. What was it that attracted you to him? You said y'all went out, he looked nice. Did you think further than that to say, this is what I desire in a husband, or were you just here for, you wasn't even thinking like that?
Yeah.
It was more casual that progressively turned something more permanent.
I think so. I had been single for, I think, a year and a half before I met him. So I didn't think that it would turn into what it turned into, honestly. I wasn't very intentional, I would say, but at the same time, I did know, I wanted someone who was a man of God, who, went to church. His family, he comes from a great family. He grew up going to church, and
that part right there. I wanted a guy who was a man of God, but they doing it. They doing it and doing it and doing it well. He's coming to Waco, knocking that, blowing that back out. She's coming to Dallas, getting her back blown out. They doing it. They doing their thing. She said she wasn't intentional. I say she was. She knew exactly who she wanted. She found him online and she went to go get him. She knew exactly what she was doing. Now, I guess when they say intentional, I guess that means I wasn't looking for a husband. Like maybe that's what she's saying. I don't know, man. She wanted to be with this guy. She wanted to be with this guy. She wanted to hang out with this dude. She probably, again, looking at his lifestyle on Instagram. It's like, yo, this dude living a life. Look, he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's handsome. Oh, look, we went to one of his events. Wow, he really is doing it. Everyone knows him. I'm trying to be with this guy. We're going out, like she said earlier. We're going out. We're partying. We're doing the thing. It is what it is. Okay. That sounds intentional to me. She intended to get this guy. And most women, fellas, y'all need to understand this. Most women don't want to run a rotation. A lot of women do. run rotations, but they really don't want that. They really just want one dude, but they can't find everything they want in one guy. So they have to go, they wound up going, okay, this dude over here, Billy, makes me laugh. He's in comedy. He's in that business. He's that cool kid. I like being with Billy. Tyrone over here is fit. You know what I mean? He's in shape, but he ain't really making no money. You know, but he's cool though. You know, he's well read or whatever. You go over here, you know, Hunter over here. I don't know if he mess with white guys, but you know, his family has a private jet, and Hunter takes me to all these galas and all this kind of stuff. So it's like a lot of time women, if they got a rotation, when you analyze the rotation, these are dudes that possess things that they want out of a man. They would love to get it all in one guy, but you know, they'll have maybe 2 or 3 dudes. Hopefully it's just 2 or 3 dudes that they're kind of, you know, in that orbit with, like kind of in that solar system, so to speak. These are the guys. And they try to kind of wait for one of these dudes to get better or come across a guy who has all those things in one or whatever. But I've noticed that when women run rotations, they're getting things that they want from their man out of different men. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not passing judgment on it. Hey man, if you can get it, hey, do you? I ain't mad at you. That's how that works. If you can get it, fine. Guys, when they run rotations, man, it centers around really just being able to get intimacy, blowing out backs or whatever. But guys also have, you know, like Jay-Z said, man, girls. I got the hood rat chick, I got the Asian chick, I got the corporate girl, I got the gangster chick. You know, guys is a different. I mean, it's like a different thing when it comes to the rotation. The guy's smashing all his girls. The woman, she might have a rotation and she might only be having sex with one of those dudes. She might have 4 or 5 guys in a rotation, but only one of them she's sleeping with. I've seen that too. If she's fine enough, she can pull that off. All the guys want to smash, and they're quote unquote playing a long game. The dudes are, but she getting what she needs out of the relationship. Like, all right, I get to fly on a private jet. I ain't sleeping with this dude. Right? I ain't doing anything. She might allow him to do sexual things to her, maybe like oral or something like that, but she ain't like letting him, you know, get it. Maybe. But a lot of these women, they don't even have to do anything sexual. Like the guy will come and take her to like the grand opening of the nicest place in town, or, you know, fly you to New York to watch Hamilton, or, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I'll go, you gotta give me my separate room. Like the guy pay for a separate room. You know, if I've seen women run a really good game. Her game seems basic. She just saw this dude. She wanted this dude. She got the guy and, you know, realized that I really don't love him. I guess I'm just going to leave him. We're going to figure out why she left him. Let's keep going.
I knew I knew the things, but I don't think that I put emphasis on those things and really was like intentional in that. And so in the 4 years we've been together, I can count on one hand how many times he and I went to church together. So I said I wanted that, but I also wasn't intentional in, you know, making that effort, I think. And so
I wonder if she can count on one hand how many times they smashed each other. You know what I mean? And my bad, guys. I hit the wrong. I apologize. I hit the wrong button. Here we go.
Now, as a 31-year-old woman, and I'm really, you know, looking for alignment in my relationships, even with friends, not just romantic relationships either. I am very, like, I know exactly what it is I want.
And what is that?
I want emotional intimacy, emotional safety, connection. Definitely 100%. I have to have spiritual transparency and definitely just be equally yoked. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like 100% equal, you know, because when I'm not showing up the way that I want to sometimes, like, I expect my partner to hold me accountable and pick me up and vice versa. But I do, think that is really important for me.
There's a bit of
Sounds like she had all that and she left the dude. This is the problem when, when women sit down and say all these things, man, they throw out that word salad. And I'm sure they mean it in the moment. They mean it. It's like, but you had that, shorty. You had all that and you left them. Why? And they can't tell you. They just can't tell you. And then what do? They get mad, scream at you or whatever, or they start crying.
cognitive dissonance when you say, this is what I wanted. I wanted a man of God. I wanted this, and you admitted that what you desired, you recognize that it wasn't in alignment with your heart's desire, which is where cognitive dissonance comes into play. To elaborate more on that is this. Whose idea was it to move in together?
Uh-oh.
Honestly, it was me. I was pushing to move in together. I was more so pushing for the engagement. I knew he wanted to get engaged. I know he wanted to be married, but it was definitely me who was more like, we have to be engaged before we get married. Not get married. We have to be engaged if we're going to move in together. Like, I at least want that. If we're, his parents were so adamant on us being married before making that step.
Right.
And I'm sure now he's probably, kicking himself in the butt. Like, I should have listened, but I mean, we all,
I think it's good that we get an opportunity to learn from our decisions, learn from our mistakes. Like I said,
bro, parents are like, y'all should be married before y'all move in together. Don't be living in sin. And then dad caught him with his hand in the cookie jar, or another body part in the cookie jar. Man, Drill's in the building. What's good, fam? And she said she was the one who was pushing for them to get engaged. She wanted to be engaged before they moved in together. This is just how, folks move in today's world. It is what it is. I mean, if you're religious, you're religious. If you're religious, then don't be living in sin. If you're going to live in sin, just be like, look, we sin and it is what it is. Let's try not to get caught. Right. So I have a hard time when I hear the stuff about alignment and spirituality and all that. I'm just kind of like, not coming from you. And then a lot of guys will watch this video and be like, man, stay away from her. I would never talk to her. Please. You probably had a legion of dudes lined up trying to holler at her, knowing what she did, knowing how she moved. That's just how the game is.
You're only 31 years old. As the old folks say, just keep living. That's what they always say, just keep living. But the reality, and I'm glad that you're giving voice to this, because he had influence around him. Parents that said, hey, you might want to be married before you start playing house, as we used to say. And then you say, well, no, we're going to move together. You admit that you pushed let's live together. And he's like, see. And the thing about it is this, and I want every man to understand this part. This is what leadership is. Leadership is saying, hey, I know you were pushing for us to move together, but no. You said you want a man of God. This is how a man of God does. I'm not shacking up with you. I created that as a moniker for my podcast to literally say, it's a fun way of saying, I know you're watching the podcast. A lot of people watch the podcast, but they don't make a commitment to just hit the free little thing to subscribe. And that's what we do in these relationships. We don't subscribe. We won't get married. We won't go to that next step, but we want all the benefits of it. We want to watch, entertain, do all the other stuff with the people we're dating, but then we don't want to make that full-time commitment. So it's interesting that that's how my podcast has started out. And then this is what your lived experience is. You said, hey, listen, his parents said, don't do this. I know he's probably kicking himself in the butt for making that happen. What made you desire that though? What made you desire? You said, hey, I know you want to marry me, but let's live together first.
Yeah. I just loved him.
You just want to be
I just
around
wanted to be, I wanted to be in his skin. Like, so yeah, we moved in together and it just seemed like we were on track we were talking about marriage. And at the time, we were so locked in, like we're going to get married. So, we might skip a step, but it's going to happen. Yeah. So we really felt that way. And we were so, like I said, we were having those conversations about marriage, and it just felt like
felt right.
it felt right. Yeah. It didn't feel like we were rushing it. And actually I tore my Achilles right before. So it kind of came around the right time because my lease ended. I couldn't go up and down stairs and elevators and stuff. So us moving in together, it honestly was helpful in that way too. So there was like life that happened.
All right. I think now we're getting somewhere. And whenever you do these long form contents, it's you're gonna telling yourself, guys. Like you're gonna telling yourself, why does she want to move in? Her lease was coming up. She hasn't said anything about work, but it sounds as if things weren't going the way she wanted them to go at work, or she was more invested in dude. Like, I could be with this guy and I ain't even gotta work. So her lease was coming up. She said she hurt herself. So she like, can't be going up and down stairs. And then she said something about elevators, which, yeah, you're rehabbing an Achilles, you just get on the elevator, right? But what it really boiled down to, she was tired of paying rent, in my opinion. She was tired of paying rent. She was tired of paying rent. She was tired of living in Waco. Like, I can move to Dallas. I can live with dude. And then maybe I can get a job in media there. Maybe she was already working on that. So you see, like when people say, when she was saying, it wasn't intentional, it was. She was planning her moves. She's playing chess. He's playing checkers. She knew what she was doing.
What did your parents say about the whole like moving in together?
They really didn't have any kind of pushback on it. They trust me to make good decisions. And I think they felt like if I was making that decision, I was making that decision from a good place, or, whatever the case might be. So they didn't really have the same pushback the way his parents did. But also my parents are much younger.
Okay.
And so, they come from a different time, different place and era where, that's not a thing. So
You said
her parents were much younger, not traditional. Sounds like, doesn't sound like her parents are her mentors. Doesn't sound like her parents are her go-to. She's just kind of like, what's your parents think? Whatever. Like, so his parents, very vocal. What are you doing? We didn't raise you this way. Her parents, whatever. You know what I mean? What's the flavor of this month? What's his name? What's his name? Is it Benson, Billy? What's his name? What's this one's name? Right? Them parents. So, I mean, again, when you have these long form opportunities to do an interview, bro, if you do it right, people will tell on themselves. She's telling on herself right now.
Or you said his parents are like that.
My parents are much younger.
So they're cool with it.
So they're a little bit more, my parents,
yeah,
they're together, but they live separated.
Not married.
Yeah.
But they're married.
They're married.
And so when y'all moved together, felt like it's the best decision, would you do it again? Next person that God brings into your life, would you cohabitate before y'all even get married? Yes. What are your views about that?
100% yes. Yes, you will. Yes. She's probably living with a dude.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure that if we weren't living together, that the issues that came about would have come about.
Right.
To know that that wasn't what was needed in marriage, I guess. So I'm not 100% sure.
Are you?
I mean, if you're having premarital sex, why not move in together? And it's funny, but we don't know. And I'm just, making assumptions here. But wouldn't it be funny if while she was, shooting this thing, they asked the question, would you live, with another person? What if she was halfway living with someone now? Like, wouldn't that be a thing? Like, I got a couple drawers over this dude's house right now. Wouldn't that be crazy? And that's what I'm thinking is the case probably is. Because if you're like, I learned my lesson, I'm all about God. Would I live with someone else again? No. Would I have premarital sex again? No. I'm trying to live right now. I'm trying to do it the right way. I'm trying to be righteous or whatever. That's what religious people I would expect them to say. She comes right out and she's like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that either. Hey, that's how she want to get down. Do you, babe? right? Do you? But again, it just goes back to the guy. Like the guy chose to propose to her. The guy allowed her to move in. The guy was taking care of her. The guy went against his own, backgrounds and belief, kind of trying to hide it from his parents. Like, so in other words, the guy knew he was wrong, but he did it anyway.
Comfortable sharing the issues?
More tears?
Even some of them, even one thing.
Yeah. I would say, I think
We're going to run that back, guys. They asked her to share the issues. Like, basically,
I'm not sure that the issues that came about would have come about.
Right.
To know that that wasn't what was needed in marriage, I guess. So I'm not 100% sure.
Are you comfortable sharing the issues?
he ain't do anything wrong. She can't think of an issue. Look, she can't think of one.
Even some of them, even one thing.
Yeah. I would say, I think.
And listen, before you answer, I'm going to tell you why that's important. My brothers, men believe that women, you just can't please them. You can give the woman everything. Like you even showed me a reel that somebody shared where you give this woman this, you go against your own core values, let them move in with you, and then you put a ring on their finger, and then she ups and leaves you for no reason. Like men are being so triggered by your experience because they already believe it before you even did it. All you did was validate their fear. You validate their fear in saying that, see, you can give a woman, and I've seen it. I've seen this person who was married. Now, I can applaud you for not even getting married and making the decision that you felt like was best for your life. It was a lady that went viral that was married and said, I've been married with my husband X amount of years. He is so perfect. He is so great. He takes care of me. He does this and that. I mean, she said nothing bad in that video and said, I just didn't want to be married anymore. And people were like, what in the world? Do you know how devastating that would be to give the woman everything that she desired? And she admits, no, my husband takes care of me. He loves me well. He's a great father. He's great everything. I just didn't want to be married anymore.
And when we had these conversations about how the marital contract works and how family law works, in that example, you have a woman's been married, God took care of everything. She just says, you know what, I don't want to be married anymore, breaks the home up. She's incentivized to do so by the family, by the laws, by the family law. And they're going to take, she's going to get the house, she's going to get the kids, she's going to get alimony, she's going to get child support, she's going to get half of his retirement, all that, just because she don't feel like being married anymore. And this is why, guys, you have to take it into consideration. Again, don't hate the players. You can hate the game if you want, but don't hate the players. This is why something needs to happen. And if we're not going to change the rules as a society, if we're not going to change the laws that govern this sort of thing, then fellas, y'all got to mitigate that on the front end. Prenups, postnups. You got to vet properly. Listen to your family. Listen to your inner circle. Take these steps to protect yourself on the off chance that you chose poorly. Right? Like the guy in that scenario, like that guy's probably just got T-boned. What do you mean you want to just divorce and it's over? And like my man Perry Davis Jr. says, my buddy from Cincinnati, he's an attorney. He's been practicing law his whole adult life. He says it all the time, man. He's like, women plan, men react. This whole story with old girl, I'm just listening to her tell this stuff, and I'm like, man, she's planning all this out step by step by step. She might change the plan, but she still is a plan. Whereas the guy's just kind of floating around doing this thing, and then bam, he has to react to this. Right? She's like, okay, I want to move to Dallas. I'm gonna live with you. Oh, bam, he's got to react to that. Later on, she's gonna talk about how she decided she didn't want to work anymore. It was her idea. Bam, he got to react to that. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, man. Women plan, men react. Men, y'all need to plan more and be ready, man. Think it through. This is chess, man. This is 3D chess.
know how traumatizing that is to a man, because a lot of men don't even believe, they don't even see that as an example. It's most of us. And then to become the example that you want to see and it still don't work out, they become the red pill community. Those people like, don't trust women. I hate women. They this, and it just gets very toxic. And so the Dear Future Wifey podcast tries to create a safe space for people to share the idiosyncrasies, the intricacies of relationships. You say, well, this is what I felt. It's not some flighty moment that I had. This is what I really experienced, and by no means uncover that, brother. But I'm just saying something that you felt, whether it was God that showed you or didn't, that said, this is what I felt that I couldn't live long term with.
Yeah. Okay. So
Nope. Still can't do it.
I will say when we first moved in together, I was working my full-time job as a news anchor. And then a year ago in September, we made the decision that it was best for me to leave the job. My contract.
Did you hear? We made the decision. She planned that. She made a decision to leave, and he's going to pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say when we first moved in together, I was working my full-time job as a news anchor. And then a year ago in September, we made the decision that it was best for me to leave the job. My contract had ended. They offered me to renew it, and we decided together that, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. So
did you peep that? She said, we decided. We decided. We decided. This was her plan. I don't want to stay in the small market no more. I'm tired of Waco. I don't want to be the anchor here. I'm going to Dallas, and I'm going to live with him. He's going to pay for everything. She's not even working, guys. And he has to step it all the way up.
I started my own business, and he said that he would take care of everything financially. So that became the norm for our household. But I think in that, what got lost was the dating. So I think because he was paying all of the bills, it was like, okay, now I don't have to put an effort over here. And I don't think that in his mind he was thinking that way. I don't think that it was intentional or anything like that, but there was just no emotional intimacy. And so that's when I suggested that we go to couples therapy to try and, get that back. And
she's in command. She's in command. Right? She acquired him, like in military terms, like she acquired him as a target from the very beginning, social media. She came up with a plan, right? Executed that plan, achieved her objective, which was getting him. Once she secured all that, she's like, okay, now I don't have to work over here in Waco anymore. I can go live with him. She made that determination, right? I'm gonna live with you. I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna take care of everything. And then she gets into it like, well, he's working now way hard. He's trying to take care of his woman. He's got to go get the money for the engagement ring. Family's involved, planning everything out, doing all this kind of stuff. He's doing his job as the man, as the soon to be husband. And it's like, okay, well, you don't have enough time to date. Like the intimacy, the dating, we stopped dating at that point. What are you talking about? This is the part this is the crazy part. He has to take care of you. He's not there anymore. Like you just brought a whole bunch of bills over. He's taking care of everything, which means if you got any student loans, he's paying for that. If you got a car, he's paying for that. He's paying for your insurance. He's paying for your food. He's paying for your clothing. He's paying for your makeup. He's paying for everything you need to survive that you were paying for. He's paying for it now. He's doing that. that is a lot of work. That is a lot of money. You talk about taking on a bunch of debt, bro. Wow, what a merger. And it's like, what does she bring with it? Like, it's like, okay, I'm a leave. I'm not gonna work anymore. But you're gonna take care of everything. But hey, here's $50,000. Here's $80,000. This is my signing bonus from my original contract. Let's go ahead and put that in the family account to kind of offset, what I mean, these expenses that come with me. They still got to go out and have dinner. They still got to go out and kick it. They still got to go out and see concerts. Whenever he takes a trip now, he's got to buy, 2 tickets on the plane, right? Like, bro, there's a lot going on here. And it doesn't sound like he planned any of it. He reacted to all of it. That's just my take. He was reactionary in all this. He just, I love you. I want to be with you. And she's like, okay, bam, I'm moving in. What? Okay, bam, I'm not working anymore. What? All right, I guess I'll take care of everything. Okay, bam. Let's go to couples counseling. What?
Actually, it was before I quit my job. It was already kind of brewing before then. And then I quit my job. And then it was even kind of more so because now I had a lot more free time. And so he works from home. I'm at home. And so I'm like, hang out with me. Let's go do something. Let's go to the gym or, like I wanted to spend time with him. And it just, I think it was just, we just stopped spending time. We stopped dating. We stopped doing the things that I guess like brought us together. And as time went on, I think in my mind, I thought, okay, he's working really hard. I'm going to let him grind it out and I'm going to do the same. And so I started getting clients and getting really busy. And then I met women who are, engaged or in long-term relationships too. So, going out to the club, and that wasn't even a thing for me. Like we were going to girl dinners and, so that wasn't a thing. And
night out.
It's crazy because
she picked up clients doing what? Like, what was she doing? She's doing some sort of consulting. Like, what was she doing? And she's talking about hanging out with these other women who are telling her something. They're telling her something, probably what she wanted to hear. She's like, yeah, I'm in the house now. You work from home. I'm here now and I'm off. So yay, entertain me. Take me out. Let's do stuff. Like, I got to make all this extra money now that you're here. And then my question becomes, well, okay, he's home. You're home. Or are you making breakfast, lunch, dinner? Or are you, seeing how you can add value to what he's doing? Like, oh, let me make this call for you. Like, hey, babe, so-and-so called, left a message, just, reference this promotion we're going to do at that building. And he's on the phone. Or you like, hey, I'm going to call them back and set up an appointment. I'm going to run your schedule for you. I mean, there's so many ways that you can spend time with your significant other if that's what you really want to do. Or is it you want your significant other to entertain you? Right. And again, this is something he ain't paying attention to. Like, you're home now. I just like, okay, we're playing house anyway, right? We're living in sin anyway. Like, well, you're here. I'm doing all the work. Can you make breakfast? Can you make some pancakes? Right. Can you make a lunch? Or can you go do the grocery shopping and, plan what not that I'm one of those guys like, oh, you got to be in the kitchen. That's not my thing. Not necessarily. But you got to contribute. I mean, I had a situation when I was dealing with someone. I had just moved across country, and then this person I was cool with, I was always trying to smash, but she didn't want to do that. So I was like, oh, you just be an associate. Again, she would help me get into clubs because I would show up to clubs, and she was one of the many beautiful women I had with me that, the bouncers and the managers at the clubs and nice bars and all that. That's what they wanted. So cool, worked for me. I move away, and then she hits me up talking about, oh man, I think we should be together kind of thing. Like, okay, this is out of left field. Where'd that come from? And then she tells me, I'm moving away too. And I was thinking maybe I could just move down there with you. Okay. And I kind of did what old boy did. All right, come on then. This I talked to my people, you know, my people were like, nah, little shorty. She all right, she all right. We thinking she gonna get down here and hustle like she was hustling out there when we knew each other. Man, nah, she got down there. She didn't want to hustle. She wanted to just post up at the crib while I was working. And she wanted to go sit, you know, by the pool. And she wanted to just hang out with people. And then she wanted to go out. So again, it's the exact same scenario. She shows up, right? And she shows up with a vehicle, insurance, credit card debt, student loan debt, right? And just her herself. Like now I'm going grocery shopping. Like my grocery bill goes up by 30%, right? I'm paying double insurance now, double a car note. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And then if I'm going to entertain folks, we'll go out. One of the things that made me like just kind of, okay, this ain't going to work. We were out hanging out and I'm with my people, like upper tier people. And, you know, we're doing our thing. Normally you go out, we buy bottles, it ain't nothing or whatever. It happened to be my turn to take care of the night. And the old girl starts ordering bottles on my tab. Like, and she's with me, but she just starts ordering bottles, just turning up, being lit, like just spending money like it's hers. And for me, that was the moment. Like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. She refused to try to get a gig. She did not want to work. She's like, well, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna try to do this hustle, and you know, I'm gonna like make soap or something. Like, I don't know. It was just, I'm gonna start a business. You're gonna start a business. Okay, what type of business? Yo, who's gonna do the paperwork? What are the startup costs? You know what I mean? So it's at that point early on, I'm like, yeah, I see what she's trying to do. That's not gonna work for me at this time. Maybe she'd have called me at a different time. I'd have been all right. We'll have someone playing wife or whatever, keeping the home. But at that time, like that's not gonna work. So she had to move on. But this guy, in this scenario, he didn't move on. He didn't see what was going on. He just kind of went with it, again, reacting to it. And he's doing everything, working himself, you know what I mean, to the bone, trying to take care of everything, sounds like he's taking care of everything. And then bam, he gets hit again with the bomb. She hit him with the Claymore. No, Claymore. I'm leaving. It's over. But again, good thing she left before the marriage. And she's sitting here rethinking everything. She knows she is wrong. This lady right here is wrong. What she did was wrong, man. She planned all this out. She did all this. And she was probably, I'm just going to guess that she thought dude was worth more than he actually was. She thought he had more money. And maybe she believed that they would still be able to go out here and play and kick it and do all this kind of stuff because he had it like that. Nothing was going to change. And then she realized, like, oh, this dude is out here working hard, but busting his butt, and he's doing it for me. And then maybe she just realized, like, nope, I want someone who can take care of all my bills and take care of me, and we can still go out every night and we can still go do all this stuff. That's what I'm hearing right here. Correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all hearing something else, let me know.
The very thing that I thought would help, like just by me taking time and like giving him the time, is what ultimately like drove us apart. Mm-hmm. Because I grew in so many ways and he was still kind of just like stuck in his rhythm and flow, and
he was making money.
Became really apparent on my birthday. Like he had no idea what to do or like get me, because he's just like, I don't know. So he just didn't do anything.
I don't know.
You guys weren't connecting. You weren't finding time to connect. Did you talk about that with him?
Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, we talked about it a lot. It was like a broken record, I felt like.
What would he say? What was his response?
He's working a lot, and it wasn't that, he didn't want to. And I really like understood where he was coming from. But at the same time, it's like, you work from home though, like just an hour you know, like just take a second. I don't know.
She said that he didn't know what to do for my birthday or give me anything for my birthday, so he didn't do nothing for my birthday. She wanted a knockdown, drag out, bash, big dinner, go to the club, bottles, sparkles, all my friends. That's probably what she was looking for. And dude probably was letting her know, like, we can't afford that. You want me to do something for your birthday? I'm doing something for you every day. I'm paying for you. I'm taking care of everything. This is, I mean, and maybe at this point, dude began to realize, like, hey, this ain't working. He just didn't have the courage to cut her off. Like in my situation, I was just like, hey, this ain't gonna work. You gotta go. Maybe dude just didn't have the courage to do that. Maybe, maybe he's thinking, I've been through all this with my parents, and I gotta go back and tell them I'm about to cut this woman loose. Who knows? It would be kind of cool to see what he had to say about all that. But she's saying he didn't do anything for my birthday because he didn't know what to do. It was like, well, like, yo, shorty, did he have any more money left? He's working his fingers to the bone. And then it's like, well, you just don't even have like 1 hour for me. Like, I know I don't have an hour for you because I got to pay for all this stuff. Right? You can be right here. See, you want a woman that's going to be right there with you, bro. Like digging in, adding value. She's in there with you, man. She's in the foxhole with you. She's covering your six. That's the woman you want. You don't want the woman who's in the rear with the gear, man. She's back with command, just barking out orders. You don't want that woman. You want that woman that's right there with you. Dude had the wrong woman. He made the wrong choice. Luckily, it didn't. I mean, it cost him. I mean, he was paying a lot of money just keeping her there. So that definitely cost him. That's money he could have been saving to do other things or whatever. Man, oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Had he gotten married and they were married long enough, it might have cost him some more, but they're in Texas. And I think Texas, if you're going to get divorced, I think Texas is one of the states that you want to get divorced in. I think their rules are different than the rest of the country. I had a friend of mine who was like, moved to Texas just so he can get divorced. I was like, why would you do that? And he was like, yo, it's just the way they handle divorce is way better. I haven't really looked into the exact rules, but maybe one day I will.
And I think I started to become very resentful. So then the resentment got so bad that then it was just like, now I'm unattracted. Now I don't even want, like, it just kind of started trickling down and to the point where it just felt like exhausting to try. At first, trying was like not necessarily exciting, but it was like, we're going to try to get somewhere. And I'm on the hamster wheel. And then I eventually, like, you just get tired and you want to just get off.
Now, did you say he was taking on the bills? How do you think that weighed on him? For
sure.
As a man?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, it had to have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, half of everything was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So, it wasn't like when we were living together and we were engaged and I was still working, I didn't necessarily pay half of everything, but it probably evened out to half.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did contribute financially still.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only when I quit that stopped. So I do think that.
Did he start to kind of emotionally disconnect around that time?
It was already before that. We already were in therapy for the emotional intimacy and like wanting to connect before I quit my job. And then I don't necessarily think it got worse. I just think it was more apparent for me because I wasn't leaving to go to work and then coming back,
Mm-hmm.
So now it was just like highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting because I'm one of those people that don't believe every relationship's supposed to work. So I understand the lessons that you're supposed to glean from those relationships that don't work. But then I also can hear moments of, and I'll just share this with you. What would you do, you're married and you experience the exact same thing in marriage, would you divorce?
No,
Why not?
because I am married. That's the difference. I think a lot of people online, a lot of the backlash I got was, oh well, you wasted his time and you were engaged and like that's. But I mean I don't want to say the point of being engaged is to be able to walk away, but it wasn't official yet.
Of
You know,
course.
we were still in that period, that trial period, and figuring it out. And I mean, we really, really did try to get in alignment, and it just wouldn't happen. And I was so unhappy. And it really, I mean, when I ended it, we were in couples therapy when it happened. So
I mean, just think about it. This whole thing was her. Everything they did, she led them to it. She led them to couples therapy. She ended the thing. She said it, it'd be best for her to quit her job. She said it'll be best for her to move in, and then just kind of flipped it right away to like a Jedi mind trick or something like that. Like, you want me living here. You want to pay all the bills. Right? You want me to quit my job. Yeah, I think I want you to quit your job. I'm gonna leave it there, bro. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm starting to get angry. And it's one of those things like not angry. I'm just, it's just kind of like, I don't want to hear no more. Fellas, this is what you gotta look out for. If you get yourself in a situation like this, it's your fault. Like it's your fault. This was like from the very beginning, right? Like this is just somebody you're supposed to have fun with, right? I think that's what she wanted. She just wanted someone to have some fun with. I ain't even talking about the sexual part, man. Like just going out, being seen, being in the spots and all that. That's what she wanted. And you know what? There's room for that. But in his mind, he was kind of like maybe open to the idea of having a good woman. And it from his point of view, it looked like she just kind of popped in. Oh my goodness, bro. She just came from out of nowhere, man. She was just like on Instagram. And next thing you know, we was hitting each other up and da-da-da-da. It's like, nah, man, she planned that out, bro. She planned that out. She did recon. She saw you. You got on her radar. She mapped out a way to get your attention, got your attention. And then the rest was history, bro. The rest was history. That's it. And he probably allowed his emotions out, man. He probably got, awestruck, like, oh, she's kind of hot or whatever. Now she's in her 30s. Like, yeah, man, danger zone, man. Look, she hit the wall. She ain't never gonna get nobody. Stop it. She's probably got 10 or 15 dudes trying to get at her right now. Right now. And some of those dudes are probably well off. One of those dudes will absolutely marry her when she's ready. Will it work? Don't know. Hope it does. Right? But whatever guy winds up with her he's going to be reacting to what she does. Just like this dude in the story was reacting to everything. Every move she made, he was on his back heels reacting to it. You don't want to get yourself in a situation where you're reacting. Like, you want to be in a situation where you're calling the shots. Like, this is what we're doing. It's, hey, I'm thinking about quitting my job. Okay, that's cool. Well, I want to move from Waco to Dallas. Oh, cool. Well, we're going to go house hunting. Where you going to live? Well, I thought I'd live with you. Like, we got to talk about that. Why you want to live with me? Like, we got to talk about that. But she was already past that. It was just the normal progression of doing things. You meet somebody, it's cool. Y'all smashing. Y'all spending mad time with each other. That's when you start giving up, 2 or 3, drawers in the dresser so she can put her stuff. And, you give her closet space and then he gets closet space. That's how that works, man. You just look up one day and you're like, man, I'm in this situation. And at some point, you got to figure that out before it goes too far. Like the story I told you, I figured it out pretty, not quick, but it didn't take me long to see like, oh, little shorty just trying to find somebody to take care of her. And I'm the guy. He'll take care of me. Nah, I won't. Not if you ain't coming out here to hustle. You got to come out here and hustle. You ain't trying to hustle like that? All right, nope, I'm not doing it. Now, do I have a problem with a woman who stays at home? No, if I'm in a relationship and I meet a woman and she has her own and she's not bringing a lot like financial debt to the situation, but she's like, I like to stay at home. I cook, I clean, I do all this other kind of stuff. And she's adding value. I would not have a problem with a stay at home woman. I would not. But I'm not going to be the cleanup guy. I'm not going to be the guy that that catches you, like the safety net. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take you on in all your debt and add it to my debt and just do that. I'm not going to do that. Like, this woman was paying her own rent, doing her own thing. She moves in with some guy in Dallas and she stopped working. It's like, at least she could have, like, even if she didn't pay for anything, she could have at least saved up money while she was living with this guy. When this thing went sideways, when it was finally over, she had to stay with him a few more months just so she can stack up bread. I guess she finally got a job so she could save money. He didn't kick her out right away, which, again, is a testament to what type of dude he is. The vast majority of guys I know, like, oh, you got to go, shorty. You're not going to continue to stay here. Like, and she's taking up one of the other rooms. She's eating. You're still doing everything, and you can't even smash. Come on. Like, nah, bro. He let her stay there. This sounds like a really, really good guy. Really, really good guy. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Like, I'm gonna leave it there, bro. But fellas, y'all gotta look out for this. When you're out here, when you've done the work, you got into the finish line, you gotta look out for this. This is like, you have to find a woman you want and pay attention to what's going on. And the best way to do that, man, to really protect yourself early on, is to keep your emotions inside, man. Just hold on to your emotions, go through the vetting process. Once you know that she's it, and you believe that based on her actions and what she's doing, your whole family agrees with you, your inner circle agrees with you, then go ahead and allow your emotions out. Because, bro, once you let your emotions out, it's over. Men and women are better at dealing with that emotional stuff than men are. So once men attach emotionally, it's going to be harder for you to let go, and it's going to hurt that much more if you get blindsided. Like, this dude got blindsided by her, although he should have saw it coming. Man, I really wish maybe I'll search. Maybe dude made some videos. I don't know, but it would have been nice to hear his side of it. But don't sound like he did anything wrong. Don't sound like he was a player. Don't sound like he was, emotionally abusive or whatever those terms be. Sound like he was just a good guy trying to make it work. Got caught up with the wrong woman, and at least she had the decency to pull the plug before they got legally married. Kind of leave it there, man. So that's the game, fellas. That's it. That's the game. It happens. It happens. So, get your experience level together. Go out here and deal with women. You need to see this for yourself. Go out here and, take it, bump your head a couple times, take a couple knocks, but learn from it, get better, control your emotions, and hopefully you'll have some positive outcomes. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about like dating tips. We're going to do some like how to talk to women out there in the trenches, one-on-one style, bro. Like, not necessarily pick up, but like how to holler at a woman one-on-one. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do appreciate you checking out what we're doing over here. And I actually got to go. I would keep it going, but I actually got something else I got to do. I'm like, man, I'm coming up on 2 hours. Oh man, I'm running late. I got to go do some stuff, because this video would have turned into a 3-hour video for sure. If you guys want me to do the final follow-up on this video, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know. I'll have the Dear Future Wifey link in the description below. Also, 8 at the Table link in the description below. Check that out. Appreciate you if you're watching on Team Replay. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I appreciate y'all, man. I got to go. I'm DL Saint. This is That I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. And if you like that video, check out this one, or maybe that one. We'll see you around. Peace.